Well, I oppose tax incentives. I really don't believe that your tax dollars should be used in private business. I do not find it necessary. I know that a lot of people like to say, well, everybody else is doing it, and if we don't do it, then we're going to lose out. I don't agree with that motto in life, that just because everyone else is doing it means you have to. I think we can do better than that. I think we can make our streets safe, fix our sidewalks, fight crime as best as we can, and then businesses will want to be here because the type of people that'll live in this town will then shop and enjoy living here and working here. And I feel like the most important thing you can do to get business in town is to have a safe town. Well, I think first of all, the project was rushed. You know, I think it's wonderful if we can have a restaurant and multiple hotels and the soccer and the conference center. I mean, it is absolutely exciting. However, not everything works out as planned. So in my opinion, we should have taken it slower. That would have been the first step, you know, as far as approving the incentives and rushing the deal and doing the sewers. As far as if the Kellers can get it done, that's completely up to them. You know, you see a lot of things around the St. Louis metro area that has gone up within the last 3 months, had no problem with construction. However, for some reason out there, they're not able to complete even the first part of their project. But that's up to them. It's a private development. Even though the city has spent almost $3 million to put the sewers out there, it's up to the Kellers to do their part. You know, they need to, if they have the money, finish the project. And no, I would not support continuing that. I will do whatever it takes to make sure we do not have to continue that. That does bring in between $1.2 and $1.5 million to the city. So obviously looking at that, I know how difficult it will be to lose out on that much money for city operations. However, I think we've gone in the wrong direction with government when we think that we can just continually add taxes and taxes, and then we add a tax on people and we tell them it's gonna sunset, and then it never sunsets. Well, it doesn't scare me that it expires. I'm actually looking forward to the TIFs all expiring. With TIF 3 in particular, you're still levied for those taxes. You'll look at your tax bill and you'll see a certain percentage of your money goes to TIF 3. Now, the amount that goes into the city's operations from that TIF, all the city has to do is levy for those taxes. You know, it's $1 and $1. If you pay $100 into it now, that $100 just will no longer say TIF 3. You'll still be paying the same amount of taxes. So I'm not really concerned about it. The thing about TIF is the monies that are raised through TIF are a little bit more discretionary in how you can spend those. You know, you can use those on different projects and incentives that tend to not be spent through the regular general fund. So with my attitude towards government, I do not fear losing out on TIF 3. I demand a new process. I think if you go downtown, you'll say, wow, really nice. But then if you go into some of the neighborhoods around downtown, you'll think you almost hit a war zone where you can barely drive down the street, or you can't even walk down some sidewalks in my own neighborhood. It's a deplorable condition. And then if you keep going around town, you'll notice there are some streets that have been repaired. But the question you should ask is who lives on that street? And you'll find somebody who lives on that street who's a part of the club. And that's the way it's done right now. That's a fact. They are ignoring the regular people of this city. This current administration runs the government to where it only benefits them and the people that agree with them. I'm considering asking for bids for an outside firm to run the engineering department and to handle things like GIS. Currently, the city of Belleville has a GIS employee, but we don't have any GIS. We don't have any access to any software. I couldn't even tell you what the individual does. So in my opinion, for less money than we even pay that individual, we can have a firm and pay them annually to do a better job, and that they already have the licensing and the software. It's just a smarter way. And this isn't losing out on any employees. This is losing out on an appointed department head. I envision not having a department head in engineering and not having a GIS coordinator. And that will then save almost $200,000 that we can then spend about $50,000 to $70,000 a year to have an engineering firm do a better job for less money.